Namaste. I am Save the Frogs founder, Dr. Kerry Kriger. I'm here in Dharwad in Karnataka, India. Good to be here in South Asia. If anyone is in the area and would like to meet up, let me know. I also expect to be in Hyderabad sometime soon and eventually Calcutta, perhaps some other places. So I hope I can see some of you in person. Thanks to Sarbani of Save the Frogs India for setting up this event, which happens on the last Saturday of each month at this time. So go ahead and mark your calendars. Same link to enter this meeting. So keep that in your calendar. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarbani to introduce Shibajee Mitra, who's going to be talking to us about amphibian diversity in the rainforest of Coorg. Sarbani.
Hi, a very good evening to all of you. And it's really a pleasure for us to have you all. And we are really thankful to Shibaji since he has taken out time from his busy schedule to meet us and talk about his amphibian experience in the rainforest of Coorg. He is a gifted herpetologist and naturalist based in Kolkata, West Bengal. He holds a master degree in zoology and is actively involved in wildlife rescue, rehabilitation, conservation, and research efforts. He is a secretary of Badu Reptile Conservation Society, Kolkata, and he plays a pivotal role in addressing snakebite incidents and promoting awareness about snakebite management in rural India, which is pretty much required here. In 2019, Mitro co-authored the description of new frog species, which is Polypetades bengalensis, commonly known as brown-blotched Bengal tree frog, discovered in West Bengal from our very own Kolkata. His dedication to herpetology and conservation is further reflected in his active engagement with the community through social media platforms, online and offline interaction with people, where he shares his passion for nature and wildlife. And we are really happy to have him here. And we are eagerly waiting for him to start. Off to you, Shibaji.
So I had worked in 2018 and 2019 in a property called Rainforest Retreat. So it's a big property of almost 27 acres. It's a valley having cardamom and some other plantation. But their specialty is they are purely an organic property. So they had worked earlier in some of the conservation activities, and I personally had the opportunity to uh, observe their uh, amphibian fauna and reptile fauna, obviously, uh, in their property. So today I am going to share with you a few of my experiences with the frogs, especially uh, along with their photograph. So when I very personally, I'm saying when I landed into Coorg, I was very much novice into frogs life, especially. I am not a specific expert in frog. So I started working with them, and so this was a presentation I made for some other groups also. It's a very simple thing. I don't think I have to tell anything about the amphibian uh, word and culture, because everyone here who are attending, they knows about the amphibian, their lifestyle, and how the amphibian works and everything. So specifically, I'm going to the other sections. These are the part, uh, body of a frog, how I can identify a frog. So the specific parts of the frog. So I take very good help from Dr. K.V. Guru Raja for this person particular thing. These are some specific different skin structure and eye and vocal cords of this frog. Some are verti, speculate with keratized tips, smooth, shadowed and wrinkled, granular, tubercular and granular. Iris patchy. The eyeballs are different. The vocal sacs are different for every frog. These are the particular things, uh, some morphological features of the frogs by which I did the identification of the frogs. in Coorg. So where I was working in the location, so there was a field, a terrestrial area just next to the property, and there was a stream. You can say it's an aquatic or semi-aquatic area going through the particular property. So it's a year-running rivulet. I mean, throughout the year you will have some a lot of water over there, and there are a good space for watching frogs. These are the particular place where you can see the frogs. So how to watch them? You have to keep a very keen eye for them. For first few weeks, I was wandering around the property to see different kind of frogs, and I think I got only 4 or 5 species to see. Then I started working in night, and I had started working to check with the different locations uh, for all these frogs. And then I got a lot of frogs, different species also. So this is the location actually. So this location comes in the Western Ghats Rainforest area. So the area of study is 25 to 27 acre. The vegetation was mixed vegetation. So there was high canopy around uh, 20 plus meter canopies. Plus there are bushes around. There are cardamom plantation also. There are black pepper shrubs also. And it comes under a heavy rainfall zone. The annual rainfall was around 250 inch. So the whole area you can see in the screen, the reddish one is the Western Ghat area, which goes up to the Sri Lanka. Covers almost 6 states and two countries, India and Sri Lanka. So we are particularly here in this location. So this is very close to the town in Coorg called Madikeri. It's around 18 kilometers from Madikeri town. So this plantation was known as Mojo Plantation. The property was known as Rainforest Retreat. So why I had selected Mojo? So I had visited personally a few properties in Coorg, and I have seen them using a different kind of chemicals, different pesticides to prevent borers and other insects for the cardamom plantation, the coffee plantation, and tea plantation. So this particular property called Mojo Plantation, they never use a single pesticide or any chemicals. That is the first part which attracted me to study all these animals over there. And obviously, the owners, Dr. Anurag Goel and Srijata Goel, they did a lot of things conservation. So they helped me a lot to understand the potential of the property. Why should I work for that property? And you will be amazed to hear that in and around there are like 10 to 12 properties. There was no sign or symbols of frogs and other biodiversity, I mean, other animals inside their properties. But there was almost, I have found like 25 plus species of frogs inside the property, one Caecilian, and in the in the month of April, I found a lot of these things, insects inside the property for 2 3 weeks. Yeah. So first thing is they did organic farming. They use mainly bio things. Second is partnering. They do partnering with the local organizations, organizations, especially the farmers who sell their products in the market. So they always promote their products as you will always find like borers. There are holes in the cardamoms, in the coffees and other things. So they always tell clearly that our property is a pure organic property, and if there is a hole inside the in the cardamom, then it must be a organic one. There is no specific chemicals or pesticides inside. Third thing is they manage the habitat. That is the most important thing for any kind of conservation activities. Whatever you do, if you do an activity for the tiger, if you do an activity for the elephant, for the rhino, or for a snake, or for a frog, or any kind of animal, so the habitat is the primary, the must thing which they require. And we also have to work on that. Other, if you don't have a place of shelter, a perfect shelter where uh, there is no disturbance, there is no harm, otherwise, how did you will survive? For any kind of animal, it is a must required thing is habitat management. So they manage their habitat very well. First, uh, the riverlets. They manage the riverlets water to spread among the whole property. They make some contribants, they make some stop dams to flow the water in different angles so that the whole property get the water. Secondly, whatever wastewater we generate from the property, that goes to a pond after uh, the proper circulation in a proper process, which purifies the water for nature. And then it goes to a pond. And that pond is having the most uh, populated pond for a particular frog species. I have seen the tadpoles over there, the bicolored frog. Hardly they manage the plants inside. There are a lot of plants. They never cut down any trees and they manage the habitat very well so that the diversity spreads among the property and manage their life by their own. Fourthly, they put a lot of fruiting trees. One is coffee tree. It is very popular in food everywhere. Secondly, they put a lot of fruiting trees inside so that the other animal can have some food. And those fruiting trees also attract a lot of insects, which is the food of the frogs. So that is the other. And the fourth thing is awareness. So whoever comes over there to the stay for one night or for 5 nights or for 7 nights or 15 nights, whatever, they always do some awareness activity. They always aware people. They tell people uh, about conservation, about the activity, about the practices, and they always tell them what to do while leaving from the property, what not to do or what to do, what they should do in their own houses, how they can manage, how they can create a small or a micro habitat in their surroundings, so that that can generate awareness not only for frogs, it's for everyone. Frogs are part of the biodiversity, obviously. So this is the area in the rainforest. I mean, in the western part. This is a side part of the property in the mountain, the front mountain called Dodabeta. So this is inside the property. They manage the habitat like this so that every animal can live there with harmony and very peacefully. This is a kind of habitat they are having among their 25-acre property. And obviously, they manage it very well. Now, the awareness is the key to the conservation. If you don't have the awareness, then you don't know how to conserve the particular animal or how to conserve the habitat. So now coming to the specific part, what I got over there. So this is a Kodagu Caecilian, Ichthyophis kodaguensis, that I got a number of times inside the property. I mean, there are plenty over there. This is a very rare kind of sighting you can say inside. Uh, in the places of Coorg, you will see them. This was named after the Coorg area. Coorg is actually locally known as Kodagu. So they named after the uh, local area called Kodagu, Kodagu Caecilian. Then
Uh,
this is yellow
Shivaji,
bush frog.
from
Yes, yes,
Shivaji, from
yes.
where have you got the Sicilian? If you can actually tell us,
And
like
where
if
means
you have
I mean
turned up, yeah,
particular
under the
area
soil or
of the
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. So the first interaction with me with the Sicilian was at around I think 12:30 in the midnight. I was walking around the property with a torchlight, and I suddenly there was another guy called Muthu Anna who was my local guide kind of. He is a worker of the property. He was along with me, and he suddenly told me, "Sir, this one." I saw the end part of it, the tail part first. So I said, "What is this, Anna?" He said, "This is Sicilian." Then we got another one. These was actually under there's a farm called it's called it's a big size farm. It's most probably called a dinosaurus farm or something like that. It was under that actually. There was some activity. It was going inside a loose soil. The ferns are actually at the side of a stream. So that was my first encounter with the Sicilian. Then I saw it 3 or 4 times. Once I got it um, at the side of the this place called there was a particular place where there are a lot of banana plants actually. In that plantation area under the loose soil, I mean, where the roots are there of the banana plants, those are having some moisture areas and very soft areas. So I got one over there. Another I got in a particular place which was it's kind of nest you can say. It was basically mud. So, but it was very well maintained a particular area and a stone. It was there. Our neighbor found that, and they told me there was a snake actually. I rushed out over there and I saw that particular animal. It was a Sicilian. So that was a third or fourth time I saw the Sicilian over there. And I saw all of them uh, around very close to the monsoon season, not in the summer.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now coming to this one, this is one of the very common frogs around every area of the foot. This is yellow bush frog or Raucestis luteolus. So you can see the color. Basically, the for the color it is known as luteolus because of the yellowish. And the corner one, this one, this one is a male. You can see the vocal sac. It is sitting on the top of a coffee leaf and giving call. I don't have the call right now. Very sorry for that. Aurajal's presentation was too good. He played the calls, obviously. And this one is a Ponmudi wood frog. It was described from a particular location called Ponmudi. See, the last one, this one, uh, this is inside a terrarium. I was maintaining a small terrarium over there and I kept it for mm, 15, 16 days inside it. It was very docile and there's nothing. He was eating nothing. I was trying to give him some insect, some of the other things also, but he was not accepting anything. Then I released him back. You can very easily identify this frog from this particular area, this particular V shape on the top of the head, and this marks on the body, top body, and the stripes. Sorry, you can see it here also. You can see it here also in everyone. So this one is a uh, uh, full adult. This one is a sub-adult one, and this might be a sub. This is Sheshacha's bushcock. Out it is carriers. The carriers is you can say it's very rare. I have seen it once. Most of the photos are has been taken by the owners, Dr. Anurag Goel and Dr. Sujata Goel. Only this one these two has been taken by me. The main photo was taken by them. I have seen them uh, very active in the evening, mostly in the evening. From 7:30 onwards, they started calling from some particular location. Some particular there was some plants called lily on the side of the path, and most of them are sitting on the top of the lily leaves, and some of them are sitting on the top of the termite plant leaves. This is an unknown frog for me. It's most probably a Hormudi bush frog. I have no idea about the ID. I had tried a lot to ID it, but still I am unable to get an idea of this one. And this is called a variable colored bush frog. So in the subadult stage, so you can see them. with the dots in the body. Once they are fully adult, they will be totally green. That is why they are variable colored bush frog. Proper lagi. So this one is a very rare. These we saw only once in a particular place where there was banana plantation inside the property. We saw only once, and this photo was earlier taken by the owner. This is called confusing colored bushfrog, Rauchestis chromosensitive. So you can see the difference in the two photos. This one is very darker in the green is very dark, much darker, and you can see one wrinkles on the body, small dots kind of, and along with the things, the color, you can see the difference of the color. This is called Wynad bush frog. It was first described from Wynad area, Pseudophylatus wynadensis. So this was very common everywhere. The first two is male. You can see the vocal sac, quite different from the Raucestis. And the specific uh, thing from which you can do an ID is the spot just behind the eye. You can see this one, the dark spot just behind the eye. Here, it is everywhere. Yeah, yeah. This one is on the top of my door, and this was somewhere else in the pathway. This was on my office area. This is called golden frog, Hylarana aurantiaca. This was also very common. Sometimes you can say them dancing frog also because they uh, they act like dancing frog because I have seen them throwing their hind legs like that. You can tell them very easily they are doing dancing. This is a common bronze fact, Hylarana temporalis. This was very common and every location you can see their uh, tadpoles are there in the water bodies, small water bodies. This is a Malabar Ramanella. Ramanellas are very beautiful. They basically lives inside the holes and they comes out in the evening. Then they started their activities. You can see this one climbing on a tree trunk. This was sitting on an orchid, and this was just inside our cafeteria. There was a in the corner. There was a small hole actually. So we just wanted to do a repairing activity over there, and suddenly in the evening I saw there was something moving inside. And then I put a torchlight and I saw that Ramananda was sitting there. We stopped that activity. We kept that hole as it is, so that there should not be any disturbance for the animal. Sorry, the Ramanellas are very uh, good looking one, very lovely creature. And the second thing is they are very sensitive. If you take them in hand and if you keep them for a longer time, like hour or so, they will die with the temperature difference. This is a microhylap species, narrow mouth frog. This I got once inside the property, uh, just in front of the cow shed. This is common scattering frog. If it is Cyanophytes. There is a story with this one. This is called Karnataka night frog, the Nyctetratus karnatakensis. Uh, it could be a Coorg night frog also. So you can see this one. Here it is. It was captured by my mobile. Here it is sitting inside the leaf. This was the first photo, and this was the second photo. I got the chance to take only three photos of it. After that, it left actually. So it is inside a stream. This one is inside a stream actually. There was very little water. It was flowing, and it is crystal clear actually. The water was. The main story was the call of the frog was very confusing. So I had two interns working with me in the property. So every night after our main activity is completed, we used to walk inside the property to see the diversity, the lorries, the civets, the porcupines, the hares, the frogs, the snakes, everyone. So first day I heard some call, a different kind of call, which was not matching with other one. So for your kind information, I was referring with a CD. It is called Manduka Vani. It was made by the Gobi Lab. Uh, they have collected, I think, 25 plus species from call inside that, and they sell it. So I purchased that, and I was referring with that. Which frog is this? Which frog is this? There was no reference. I was very confused with the sound. So three of us started searching for it. So the first day went, second day went, we were tired enough. So we have to search for almost 14 days to get this one. Actually, we were uh, standing in the mid of the stream and we were looking for the frog in the valleys. Everywhere we are searching it, there was nothing much. All of a sudden, in a night, it is around 2:30 or so. Three of us were sitting just beside the rivulets, and there was a call, and we were thinking like, "Of leave it, we'll not be able to find this one." Suddenly, one of our interns, he pointed out there was something vibrating in the water, and we put our torchlight, and we saw this. We saw only the eyes actually. You can see the eyes only. Then after we started searching and we got the frog was sitting there and the call was coming from that location only. And it was echoing like you will think that it is coming from somewhere else, in the upper side of the valley. We were in the lower side of the valley, inside the river, in the side of the river. After 14 days hard work, you can say 14 nights hard work, we got to see this one, this, Karnataka night frog or food night frog, snake species. It's a very smaller one. Then I took photo from my mobile. One, two, it had, and then it left. So this was the story. And this is a common Indian tree, Polypodius maculatus. They are very common. Actually. This is a male. You can see the sac here. They are basically tree frog. You can see the difference uh, of the legs, the hind legs especially, and the pads on their leg, on their fingers. So they can easily climb on the top of the tree. This is called western tree frog. This is another Polypodius species, Polypodius occidentalis. So this was discovered by Dr. Nilin Dash and some other scientists. You can see the spot over there. And for your kind information, the spots taken by me are basically mobile pictures. I've captured all of them from my mobile. This is a small guiding frog. So once upon a time, people know that this frog, Rhacophorus lateralis, was vanished from the whole area of the Coorg Valley. So suddenly, after a long time, I think after a so long time, more than 40 years or so, so they found it inside Coorg, and this property is one of them where they got it. And you will see them in a large number making their nest. This one was making nest here. You can see the forms here. This one is a lateralis, and this was inside our terrarium. We kept them for a few days to observe, and then we released. Also, they have another one called Malabar gliding frog, the Rhacophorus malabaricus. Uh, this is a fully grown male sitting on a branch of a coffee tree. This is inside our terrarium. You can see the nest here. the top of the leaf. So this nest was on the edge of like it was almost a month, you can say. So this was dried actually. Becomes hard once they make the nest first. It is very soft, the foam nest. Then after it becomes harder and harder. And then we saw the tadpoles are coming out from this. They are going there. There's water actually here, and we kept the tadpoles for a few days to watch them. Then we release them in the villages. This is a bicolored frog. So the bicolored frogs are basically, if you see the tadpoles, it was in the first slide of my presentation. So I told you about that particular pond where we uh, flow all of our wastewater after purifying it. So the pond was mainly populated by the bicolored frog, and I have seen them. The bicolored frog are basically for the reason because you can see the difference of the color on the top of the and the side body. They have two colors. That is, they are bicolored frogs. The tadpoles change their body color actually. In the daytime, they are much darker. In the nighttime, they are much lighter. I was very amazed when I first saw them doing all these things. The daytime, they are much darker, so that the predator can't find them in inside the algae and somewhere else. And the nighttime, they are much lighter actually. The body color, they change their color. This is the rich toad, the Tophinus parientalis. This one is a common Indian toad, and this one is a Bedouin toad. Now, the concerns of conservation. We come to the last, almost at the last. The first thing is the rapid destruction of the habitat. Uh, you know, all of us, every time, all of us, every day, we destroy habitats by doing a very small kind of activity. Like if you go to a particular meeting, if you go to a particular area, you purchase a plastic water bottle. You use the water, then there's some drinking water. You use that water, then you leave it anywhere, in the side of the road or somewhere else. And that destroy our habitat. We cut down trees, we uh, fill up water bodies with waste, lot of chemicals. Uh, there are a lot of plastics we use, which we throw inside the drainages, we throw in that goes inside the rivers, and then finally it goes to the water bodies also. So that is how we every day we destroy habitats, uh, and that is the one thing, the first concern of the conservation, that we should not destroy any habitat. We should try to make some, at least some smaller habitats for some of the animals, not only frogs, for everyone. If there are frogs, there will be snakes. If there are snakes, there will be birds also. If there will be turtles also, there will be fishes also. So everything is there. Second, the rapid use of chemical pesticide in agriculture. So nowadays, finding out uh, any organic property is very difficult. I mean, everyone use at least some basic kind of chemical pesticide like urea. They will think that it will help them to grow their crops very well. It doesn't. Well. And that is the thing. Crops are very sensitive, and they got killed by that because those chemicals actually goes inside the soil, and that soil touches the local water bodies. Once the rain starts, all these chemicals goes to the water in the local water bodies, and that got contaminates with toxins. Then the road kill. Roads are nowadays it's very required for us because vehicles are the number of vehicles are increasing day by day, and everyone of us have vehicles, and we use vehicles on the road. But we never care for others. I mean, not for the bigger animals, not for the smaller animals. So roadkills are one of the things destroy a lot of life of frogs and other animals also. There are some infectious diseases which spread throughout the world, in the frogs especially. That also a thing which decreases the frog population everywhere. Water and land pollution. I have already told you about the pollutions, I mean, especially the plastic, the wastes which we generate every day from the cities, from the villages, from everywhere, and from the agricultural field also. Then rapid urbanization. When the urbanization happening, I mean, when you make a house, you will also require a periphery wall for your land. When you give a periphery wall, you make a periphery wall that creates, that makes divide between the two areas inside your house area and outside your house area. I mean, that makes a border between the frogs of two sides. They will never be able to make some of the species, not everyone. So after that, they will be die. They will never get to get some go some water bodies. Some they will never get some food proper. Also, that's the thing. The seventh thing is climate change. All of us are very much aware about all these things, climate change and that's the thing. And this is our expectation versus reality. The this one is our expectation. We must have one vehicle, a personal vehicle, at least one motorcycle, at least a four-wheeler, and we should run it very properly on the road. And this is the scenario which we are saying, which we are seeing in the roads. On the main road, this was actually somewhere very close to Coorg on the main road. The roads were meeting actually. You can see the eggs are here. This is the final scenario what they are getting in their life. So now the very important thing, are they important to us? I personally say yes, they are very important to us. And this frog is saying you, I also use the road. So yes, please save us. I mean the frogs, they are saying you. I personally believe there should be a proper harmony, a proper balance in our living so that we can live with other animals. And I hope the animals also believe that they don't harm us. They are giving us a lot of things, especially the frogs and snakes. They gives us free of cost pest control that we used to spend a lot of money in the cities for the pest control activities, but we never care for the frogs. That is the very basic and primary thing we can get from a frog. Actually, I have put all these things. Frogs are not harmful. They're giving us free of cost pest controls. They are kind of indicators of the health of an ecosystem also. If there is no frog, then you must know that ecosystem is not good. They are storehouse of novel chemical compounds for various treatments. There are a lot of things, and they control the algae population in water body, especially the tadpoles. Actually. So protecting nature is a very simple job. What we can do it on every day. I mean, you can spend at least 10 minutes, minimum 10 minutes on a day basis. Create a small or micro habit around your house. You can plant some plants, you can plant some shrubs. You can make a small water body. You can control your usage of chemicals. You can control your usage of uh, detergent powders, shampoos, soaps, everything. You can promote awareness among other people. I mean, most of the people they don't like slime. In my childhood also, I was not like I didn't like slime. Some of my teachers, one of my professor, late Dr. P.K. Malik, uh, one of my our family friend, he's a scientist, Dr. Kaushik Devti. They bring me into that world so that I got awareness about frogs. I got interested about frogs. Otherwise, there was no interest of mine to watch frogs. Most of the people they don't like frogs. So we should promote awareness among people that frogs are helpful for us. They are a must thing of the ecosystem. We should keep them. We should help them to uh, be in this world. Uh, Positive involvement of student is required. That is must thing. Um, you can you can teach a lot of things to the student, and they can act uh, as our future naturalists, future nature conservationists also. Raise your voice. If you think that other will raise their voice and I will see all these things, there will nothing to be said. You have to raise your voice also. Every one of us have to raise our voice so that other should be aware that someone is raising their voice for the conservation of these animals also. Likely we raise our voice for the bigger animals like uh, tiger, like leopard, like elephant, like rhinos, everything. Even we raise our voice to conserve king cobras, pythons, everyone, crocodiles, little lizards, turtles, tortoise. But very little. I mean, there are selected people in the world, those who raise their voice for the frogs or for the smaller animals, for the insects. Control your requirement. That is the final thing. What is required that we have to choose. I mean, the simple thing. My neighbor has a AC. I don't have AC in my house. I don't need it actually. They need it. Why they need it? Because they have some old person in their house. They need an AC in their house. We don't need it in our house. So we have to control our requirement. If you control your requirement, then you can do a lot of you can bring a lot of change into into this environment, into this society. So these are the key points. First is knowledge gathering and sharing. I mean, I have told my experience to you. When I had no knowledge about frogs, I was not interested. When I gather my knowledge, I started sharing with everyone. Then the thing is partnering with other NGOs and government organizations or individuals. We always think that I will work for the particular activity. None of the other person will work for this. This is not the thing. We should join our hands with others. The organizations, the private organizations, the NGOs, they should join their hands all together. They should support the government also. They should bring the government to the platform. They should encourage that other individuals to do all these things. I mean, do the conservation activity. But second, stop destruction of small habitats. I have told a lot about habitat destruction, what we do on a regular basis. That we should stop and create habitat, or you can manage the habitat, local habitat. If you see someone is putting plastic, someone is throwing plastic or waste inside the water bodies, you must raise your voice. Stop that activity because that will not only help the frogs, that will help your water table to be recharged, which will give you drinking water in future also. Then student awareness and use of no chemicals. It is not basically exactly not possible in this world right now, but we should control our usage of chemicals, especially in the agri fields, where we from where the contamination goes to the water body mainly. These are my acknowledgement, my sincere thanks to Dr. A.B. Guru Raja. He's an archaeologist. He helped me a lot. I disturbed him a lot to get the IDs of the frogs, to know about the frogs. The total team of my Rainforest Retreat, the workers, my interns, everyone, Dr. Goels, Dr. Sujata Goel and Dr. Onra Goel, they helped me a lot. Dr. Jadita Purokayastha, he helped me a lot to get the IDs of and Mr. Abhishek Jain. He has another property in food. He also maintain an organic property in food. So thank you all for your patience. Uh, this was my small presentation. I'm a very novice person. I'm not an expert like Sarbani or others. Those who are expert in frogs actually. They have their own expertise. I don't have. I have my interest actually. I do a lot of observation on animals, especially wildlife, and in small animals, in reptiles. Thank you all. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Sarbani.
Shibaji. Yeah, thank you, Shibaji, for your wonderful talk. And I must mention that I am not an expert. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. I'm learning from all of you. I'm learning from nature. I'm learning through observation. So this is the best thing you have done. Like you have compiled all your observation into slides, and you are aware, making people aware about what you have seen and what you have observed. Maybe it's your first time with the frogs, but the thing is like that. uh, it's an inspirational video, I must say. Inspirational talk, because what you have seen, you have presented with all the data and the information, with all the anecdotes, like how have you seen, how have you encountered the frogs, how you have found them. And for the first time when you were in the field, you got nothing, probably 2 to 3 frogs, and then suddenly you start seeing them everywhere. So that's the key thing of observation in frogs. That happened to me as well.
Yes,
So we all are
yes.
learning, nobody is expert. So thanks so much for being here, and thanks to all the participants for being with us. And I would like to request the participants if they have any questions, so that Shibaji can answer. I myself have one question, but I'll come up with that later. Kerry, over to Kerry.
Hi, thanks, Sarbani and Shibajee. Yeah, we can take questions, and I'll just quickly throw out there. I'm guessing most of you have heard, because I've recently sent out a couple newsletters announcing it, but we've got the 17th annual Save the Frogs Day coming up April 28th, 2025. It's April 28th every year. So it'd be great if you or your organization, your local wildlife group, your university laboratory, frog enthusiasts that you know could get together and organize a Save the Frogs Day educational event in your community. Be sure to register that. Go to savethefrogs.com/day for all of that information. And let's see, Save the Frogs grants round for Save the Frogs Day grants if you need funds to organize your Save the Frogs Day event. And also Save the Frogs travel grants. Assume that that is only for conference travel. Those applications are due by March 1st. The Amphibian Conservation Awards, which could be for potentially anything related to helping save amphibian populations, those are taking place in June. But right now we've got Save the Frogs Day grants and conference travel grants. All right, with that, let's see if people have questions. You can chat them in. You can unmute themselves. You can turn on your video. You can tell us hello and where you're at. And I can't get
There
the.
was a specific question from Arnab Chakraborty that any
Yes,
specific
yes,
reason known for their coloration. So Arnab, the coloration is basically depend upon the area, the locality, the habitat, their foods, and how they camouflage themselves. So there's a frog called confusing color bush frog. So you will find them in such a habitat where you will never be able to identify them very easily, so that they can save them from their predators.
Okay, okay. So
This is a
it's a sort of
very
warning
basic
coloration, I
thing that,
guess.
yes.
Acha. Excellent,
okay.
excellent
So
presentation, Shibajita. It's a
yes,
wonderful,
yes,
wonderful presentation. And what's more interesting is that the way you have presented where to search for, and how to search for, where to look for
exactly.
actually for the amphibians. So that, and what interests me more is that you have taken all the pictures using just your mobile phone. So that I
Yeah,
think should
that
encourage all
was
of us.
out of my interest. That was out of my interest only,
Yes,
because I
yes,
got
absolutely.
interested in frogs from that two person. One is my late professor, late Dr. Pranab Kumar Malik, who was known as Frogman in his locality, and Dr. Kaushik Devti from their side. So both of them actually. I'm thankful to them actually. Later, I got a lot of help from Dr. K.V. Guru Raja and Dr. Jaditya Prukasto for their inputs regarding IDs and everything.
Excellent, excellent.
So
Though frog is
excellent.
not my cup of tea, but I myself am fortunate enough to have you by our side, I think. we all know what enormous knowledge that you bring on board whenever you are there. So it's our privilege to have you amongst us. So thank you for enlightening us all the time, and it was a lovely presentation.
Yes. Arnav, probably the frog is not your cup of tea, but you are maintaining the prey base for them. Thanks to you.
Yeah, that I'm doing. That I'm trying my best.
Yes, Arnav works with insects and he is doing a very good job. So Shibajee, I have one question for you. It's
Yes.
like I live in a flat, 4-story flat, and I live in the top floor. So you have shared that we can create a micro habitat for frogs, which is not possible for me. So
Yes, it is
what can
possible for
I
you
do?
also.
Okay,
It is possible for
please
you also.
suggest.
So it is not always that we have to create the habitat or microhabitat inside the house. So what you can do, you can connect the local students, the local people, your neighbor. You can hour them. There must be some water body in your locality that is requires a lot of activity, especially nowadays. There are a lot of encroachment happening in the water body, especially people put waste first, then they dump soils over there, then they put some activity over there, and then the water body vanishes very, very soon. And there will be some flat, or there will be some houses, or some shops, or something else like that. So you can very easily gather local children, local students, especially school students, and the local people. You can hour them, and if there are some open spaces lying around you, which are basically by the government, so you can plant some small trees. If there are water bodies, you can gather people and go in them to make them a good habitat for the frogs, other animals, for the birds also. That is an activity. It's not likely that everyone have to do the same activity. So all of us can do small things which can make a big ocean for the
Yes, a
conservation.
collective effort. That's what I'm doing from my
Yes.
part. Awarding people. I take them to different places and tell them about frogs and other species. That's what I'm doing. Um, yes. But the raising voice is sometimes very difficult because there are land sharks. So it really becomes difficult for us because
It
our
is
voice
not always
becomes
you have to
very
fight with them.
feeble. Yeah.
Yes, you can do in a different way. That I can teach you.
Yeah, so is there any other question from anyone?
I don't think so, because
No,
I'm
yeah.
a very novice, so
So,
everyone's just enjoyed the PPT. I hope so.
no, it's a very inspirational one. As Arnab said, that you click the photos with your phone and you have discussed the anecdotes, where to find them, how to find them. That's really, a kind of educational PPT. So
Yeah.
novices, like people who are joining for the first time, like someone has said that I am a new one. It was truly inspirational for me and my students also. If you can actually tell me your name and from where you are joining, that will be really good, helpful for us. And we have Save the Frogs India WhatsApp group. I'm sending my mail address here. If anyone wants to join the group, please send me their WhatsApp number so we can connect with WhatsApp. Okay, so probably we can call it a day.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see you on the final Saturday of March. And thanks for helping save the frogs. Bye.
Bye.